impacts of the Texas flood could have been minimized drastically. You're asking the question of, it's a natural disaster. How could we have seen this coming? The government has agencies that can see this stuff coming. They have the resources and the intel to detect these natural disasters coming, and they can evacuate the areas and prepare the areas for minimal damage and save lives. But this administration has defunded all of the programs that can do that. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, also known as the NOAA. They monitor weather patterns, they conduct climate research, they issue flood warnings, and they oversee the National Weather Service. This administration slashed their funding and directly cut funding to programs that improve flood prediction and storm tracking in general. Second one that I'm going to talk about here is the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA. They regulate water quality. They oversee wetland protection, which mitigates flood risks, and they regulate environmental standards to reduce disaster vulnerability. This administration has gutted the budget of the EPA by almost 30%, rolling back regulations on wetlands and waterways, specifically by weakening the Waters of the United States rule, otherwise known as WOTUS, which was funding areas that were protected as natural flood buffers. Now we're going to talk about FEMA. We all know and love FEMA. They're very helpful. Federal Emergency Management Agency. They man disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. This includes flood mitigation grants and flood risk mapping. This administration canceled a huge program that FEMA runs that basically promises billions and billions of dollars in disaster relief funds and emergency funds all over the country. That's just a few agencies that I'll mention. There are more. And there's also the huge problem of downplaying climate change just in general in this administration. So yeah, the Texas floods, totally predictable, totally manageable. You can't cut science and disaster prevention and then be surprised when something like this happens. This administration doesn't care about the people who lost their lives in the Texas flood. They don't care about the people who are losing their homes, their jobs, etc. This administration doesn't care about Americans. They literally care more about slashing the funds to programs that actually help Americans on a daily basis, especially when it comes to emergency and disaster relief, so that they have more space to fund things like ICE. They're literally defunding the protection of the American people so that they can go kidnap people and deport them, and have space to make more tax cuts for billionaires. Also, just going to throw this in here, Donald Trump didn't approve the FEMA budget for helping Appalachia after the horrible hurricane that went through there. So with climate change on the rise and the threat of natural disasters occurring, increasing by the day because we're doing nothing to protect the environment. We're rolling back on environmental protection all over the country. Natural disasters are going to increase. That's just science. And this administration isn't going to fund the relief for it all over the country. We're going to see cities all over the United States in complete ruin so that we can deport people and so that we can give billionaires tax cuts.